friends hanging out. La-di-da, dee-dee-da. Welcome to the People's Pod. Welcome to the People's Pod. Just a couple of best friends hanging out. We like to do stuff. Frisbee touchdown in the house.
Hello,
And we're back.
we're back. Womp, womp, womp.
Holidays can't keep us down.
We're gonna start this one off right
Yeah.
because debts are owed, and there's a lot of them. So I gotta space them out.
But when
So
you do
Tito's-
like that, it like disappears into the background.
Into
Are
the
you drinking
bay.
anything? I can't tell.
It's water. Tito's handmade
frosty.
vodka with my Valencia shot glass. So this is a shot. Anybody that has ever experienced student debt knows that after a certain period of time, your first payments don't actually pay back any of the original debt, right? It's all interest. So this is interest for the shot bet that I owed you for a while ago. I forget, it's like me versus Bacon. Yeah, that's what it was. Fuck you, Bacon. You're going down this week, bitch.
That's fun. That's a classic East Wing battle, Buckaroo battle for 7th.
Oh,
Okay, that's the first one.
and we're gonna rinse it down with a
Look
little.
at that little koozie.
Yes, I know. I got this koozie as a gift from Grandma, who was married to the grandpa that hated me, but she still sends me gifts even though he's dead. She sent me this with a $50 gift card to Amazon. It's pretty cool.
It seems like quite the story to unpack at a later date.
Yes. Coming to an additional podcast, my new series.
It's a bonus for our tier 1 premium subscribers who pay us a fee. It's kind of like OnlyFans, but it's just us talking about our lives.
Working through things. It's called Waking Up with Weaver.
Waking
Cooking
up
with
with
Gall.
Weaver. Both of which were entirely nude. Except
Yes.
cooking with Gall, I have an apron on, of course.
I'm laying in bed with a book just covering my nether regions. Oh, hey. Didn't see you there.
And like once every like 3.7 episodes, you'll like shift in a way where you get a glimpse of something juicy. I am drinking Hazer's Gonna Haze. It's
That's
from a local
fun.
Belching Beaver, which we did not get to when everyone was here. Yeah, I spent, I don't know, a good like 5 minutes in the freezer section today looking for an appropriate beer for today's recording, as well as the, next 5 days worth of excitement that's going to happen.
Yeah, it feels very appropriate given your role this season as the main heel in the league.
I've been a perfect angel. But anyway, how was your weekend? How was your holiday?
My holiday was an extraordinary bender. I want to say that I am excited for Frisbee season simply because it will bring discipline back into my life and just not, I will no longer be a degenerate gambler and drinker, I guess, both. So yeah, we're gonna flashback all the way. Last Monday, we had dinner with an newly engaged couple. Went out to dinner, drinking champagne, celebrating them getting engaged. Yeah. Tuesday, surprise birthday party for one of Ashley's friends, 39 years old. They wanted to like have a big shindig for 39, because who cares about 39, right? Well, that turned into basically staying at the Wildcat until 1 a.m. on a Tuesday night. Makes sense because I'm unemployed and I don't care.
Going up
Yeah.
on a
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, club's going up on Tuesday. And Wildcat's dope because on Tuesdays during happy hour, there's what's called farm to bar, where they just get a bunch of ingredients from the farmers market and bring it to their bar. And when you order a farm to bar drink, you just tell them a liquor base and a flavor profile that you want. And so my go-to is tequila spicy. And so they always come up with like these crazy concoctions of like blueberry and jalapeno tequila based drinks. They can do a lot with gin. That's a very common one. But it's really cool because they're just like throwing in herbs and berries and just stuff that they bought at the farmers market. It's really fun.
That was Tuesday.
Tuesday. Wednesday is the day before. We're actually supposed to leave Wednesday night, right?
Remember you were cleaning and shit? We had to sneak in the podcast recording.
Oh my God, yeah, it was fucking chaos, dude. We're like, Ashley still has gifts that she needs to buy, and she's all stressed out with work because everybody's like, we got to do all this shit right before we close down for the holiday break. Like, that makes any sense. And so I'm like running errands for her and like dodging car accidents left and right. Like, there were 2 fender benders in parking lots while I was like waiting to leave, like just sitting, waiting for cars to move. And then somebody just backed into the person that I was waiting for. I was like, this is my nightmare, just
Get me out
crazy,
of here.
right? And dealing with like little old white women in stores, in like shopping malls, they are so aggressive. And like I got hit by a lady swerving in the grocery store, just swinging her grocery cart around, just didn't even look. It's not like I was behind her or anything. I was just to the left, and she just decided to go left and hit me. And I was just like, this is wild. So yeah. Anyways, we stayed up past midnight so Ashley could finish work while I was a good little elf and like finish the wrapping that I'd been ignoring up until then. We got up way early, drove down to Orange County to catch Ashley's niece's holiday recital, which is just such a high level of entertainment. On paper, it's abysmal, right? Like, there's no way these kids are going to know any songs or anything, right? And it's true, but there's like a spectrum of performance. There's the kids that are like laying down and like crying because they don't want to be there. And then on the other side of the spectrum, there's just like these, all the kids are dressed up super cute, but then there's like these kids that are just like so into it with their pride and joy. And there was one girl that was just screaming like there's veins popping up in her forehead, and she's like, deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la, and they're all doing their like hand signals too, and she's turning blood red, happy, just singing the joy of Christmas at us. And so, that was like 40 minutes of just pure chaotic fun to watch. So we hung out. Then we bail on the niece and family. We go to Ashley's best friend's house. We have just a lovely evening. We make, instead of barbecued pizzas, we made pita pizzas. Which is super easy and super dope. Just buy the pita bread and spread a little marinara sauce on there on your little toppings, and it's done in like 30 minutes. And they were really good. Personalized little pizzas. Highly recommend. I'll post that in my next waking up with Weaver. Yeah. Or maybe guest appearance on Cooking with Gall.
Yeah, it could be a collab.
Yeah. Then the next day, so we stayed up super late drinking there, right? So this is like 4 nights in a row. We're staying up past midnight. We wake up nice and early, sleeping on the couch. Then head over to Ashley's sister's house, and just immediately, like, it's Christmas Eve. Gotta help sister make all the food because she's hosting the whole family. So this is my favorite part about like being an uncle, is like I just hone in on the kids and just like start playing with them. and let everybody else like do all the work and the chores. And so like I'll just be like play, 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 play. Hey Aaron, you need a drink? Yeah, I totally do. Right. So then,
I'll take some Uncle Juice, please.
yeah, and so like it's not that hard, you know. I'm just sitting there like drinking a beer and just like throwing a ball, playing fetch
It's
with
like a
these
dog.
kids.
You're just playing fetch. Go get it.
Yeah, I've got like one kid crawling on me over here. I'm throwing the ball over there. Throw the kid next on accident. No. So that was like super fun. Had Christmas Eve dinner with Ashley's family, or Christmas dinner with Ashley's family on the 23rd. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's not Christmas Eve. 23rd worked out really well for us. And gift giving was fucking psychotic there. You know, like classic family drama going on. Like mom brings gifts that are like pseudo questionable, probably shouldn't be around kids, you know, like sharp objects, or like food allergies are involved, you know, like just crazy things that are
Food
straight out of a
allergy
movie.
drama. Wow.
Yeah. But like all in all, good time. Drink a lot of really nice wine, which is just lovely. And stayed up like well into the morning hours, knowing full well that the kids wake up every day at 6:30. So that was really tough. And so that happened. Then we're just like,
Uncle Aaron's got to be up when the kids are up. You don't have any kids of your own?
dude, there's no surviving the kids. They find a way to wake you up. Yeah. And so you're up when the kids are up, despite your best efforts. So I'm just like, then at this point, probably still maybe intoxicated. Who really knows? Just chugging liquid IV and caffeine because we have to commute then all the way up to Simi Valley, get over to my side of the family's Christmas Eve. This is Christmas Eve now. And
is that giant child's playpen still up?
Yeah. Only I would say 3/4 of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But actually, I'm going to back it up. Christmas Eve morning, Ashley has really been trying to get us into matching PJs, like matching Christmas onesies for years, ever since we started dating. Finally happened this year. And unbeknownst to all parties involved, her niece and nephew also had the same set randomly. And so that morning we woke up and
that
threw
was
on our
random.
Completely random. There was no collusion, no cahoots. And so we woke up and surprised the kids with our matching sets of PJs. And so that was huge for them. And we played Battleship, which was really funny, like with a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, you know, trying to like instill like you should not cheat in this game. Like, don't cheat. It's not fun when people cheat. Yeah. Yeah. So finally, like, feel caffeinated enough to like drive up to Simi Valley, where my sister-in-law has baked this like prime rib to the T. It's so amazing. She made this like 5-course meal for 19 people. Just truly, yeah, on par with the meals that we were eating in Scotland. Like, I was so impressed with her.
Wow.
And I was like, JJ, dude, like, this is awesome. Did you just like sous chef everything? And she's like, no, like, she wouldn't let me in the kitchen. I just took care of the baby, and she just like hammered away for like 3 days. 3 days of prepping for a meal. That is wild.
That's a lot of days.
Yeah, so many days. And then
That's a lot of
Christmas,
people.
It really was. The family is growing, right? Like, as plus ones get invited, and this is all my dad's side of the family too. So thankfully, we just do a Secret Santa, so you only have to buy gifts for one person. But I came up this year. I got a 25-pound kettlebell. I got a Star Wars Villainous. And,
hell yeah.
And I got a 16-pack of Tupperware.
How practical.
Yeah, like, just a wonderful, wonderful gift for a $50 limit. I think my Secret Santa cheated So that's always fun. And then we stayed up way late. Like we convinced one of my cousins to stay, and so it's me, Ashley, Caitlin, my cousin, Brittany, JJ, and we just stay up late drinking.
As the Lord intended.
Yeah, to like 2 a.m., despite the fact that we know that we need to be at my parents' house at 8 a.m. the next day. Woof. So yeah, again, this is like day 6 of waking up potentially intoxicated. Day 5 out of 6 out of the last 6. Yeah. Then, like go through the struggles, just again, like taking down liquid IV, start with mimosas and Christmas. This is actually at my dad's house, and we're hosting my mom's side of the family. And it was just a full day of drinking and a lot less gift drama for our families, but there's always something, right? Like that goes wrong. And let's see. Oh, this year, really sad. My dad has a hot tub now. He calls it the pond, and it's got this automatic roof or like top that goes up and down on command, which is nice. Better than it being random. And somebody had put rocks on the like side of the hot tub to like prop up a phone to take the group picture, and none of us like took it off. And so when it was like again 2 a.m. and dad was closing down the hot tub, it like shattered his top, and I was just like, oh my god. He was so sad, mad. You've been there before, right? Like just being sad, mad. It's such a terrible, terrible place to be. It's like just despair. What a
Despair.
bummer.
I think that's
Yeah.
what sad mad is despair.
Yeah. But before that happened, we spent a lot of time playing Skyjo. I introduced it to all my cousins, aunts, uncles, and my grandma. She got way into it, and this grandma likes me. We bought JJ and Brittany's Skull, and so we introduced Skull to the fam. Yeah, that was pretty dope. It's growing, yeah. And then played a lot of darts. My dad got a dartboard set up, and so it was just like maybe 16 hours of just heavy drinking and darts. Oh my god, this is taking forever. So then the next day is grandma's adventure. All the grandkids are invited to an adventure, and it's always a surprise. So this year, in years past, it's been a trip to Big Bear, zip lining at Big Bear, zip lining at Catalina Island. We did
grandma made of money? What's going on here?
Kick golf. Yeah, instead of buying everybody gifts, she just buys an experience. And this year it was golf and stuff. Unlimited activities for 3 hours. But we all had to do mini golf together. So that was super fun. She had like prizes for all the best scores.
Did you win anything?
Yeah. I actually
Tupperware set.
It's all cash money, baby. Cash money, cash money.
I know about winning some cash money, let me tell you.
Yeah. It makes up for, I don't need fantasy football winnings because I have grandma.
Your grandma winnings, yeah.
Adventure winnings, yeah. Did that until 6 o'clock, got home by 7:30, and then here we are, and it's just been cleaning and organizing ever since.
That's quite the time.
I am so excited to be home, and unfortunately in that time span we're supposed to go to Big Sur for New Year's, but this what's it called, fucking not an Arctic river, atmospheric river is hitting the Pacific Northwest, so we had to cancel our New Year's Big Sur plans, which has been a huge bummer, because we've had it booked for fucking, I think, like 6 months, like how you have to do with camping sites nowadays, especially Big Sur. So to have it like come down to the wire and weather just getting worse and worse, that was pretty devastating. So that was kind of hard to deal with. So
How about you come down to San Diego, watch some football with the Buckaroo?
I would love that, except for the fact that it's like 5 hours away, and I'm very tired.
Like 4 hours.
I'm so tired of
Big Sur is closer.
holiday commuting is a nightmare. And
Yeah, no,
actually, it is.
My turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this in 5 minutes. All right. So since we last spoke, which was last Wednesday, some things happened in Florida. First of which went to Hollywood Studios in Disney World in Orlando. Specifically bought these tickets. So is Chelsea, myself. What's your question? Yep.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios in Disney World? It's like a what?
So here in California, we have Disneyland, which
Mhm.
is like the Magic Kingdom.
Mhm.
In Orlando, they have Disney World, which is the Magic Kingdom, plus 3 other parks. They have the Magic Kingdom as a park. They have Hollywood Studios as a park. They have Epcot, which is a park, and they have like Safari Land or something, which also is a park.
Okay.
And so imagine like 4 of our Disneylands. And so in one of that is Hollywood Studios, which is its own, and it's tangentially related ish, was probably where your question came from. They have a Universal Studios too, which is a completely separate thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused. Thank you.
So this is Hollywood Studios under the Disney World umbrella.
Okay.
And we specifically went there for Star Wars Land or Galaxy's Edge, right? So I'd never been to any of them here or there. Neither had my family. My mom, huge Star Wars fan, same with my brother. So Chelsea thought it would be a good idea to take them. So we went on Thursday, and it was equally awesome and frustrating because it's just like any amusement park, right? It's like takes forever to get there. It was like 90-minute drive there and back. The lines are forever, right? We spent like probably collectively like 5.5 to 6 hours standing in line. That being said, Star Wars Land was pretty cool. I got that picture with some first order troopers, which I put into the group me. There was actually a lot of alcohol available, super expensive alcohol, but like for some reason I was under the impression that Disneyland didn't sell alcohol, but maybe because I'd never been as an adult. I think the last time I went to any Disney related thing was when I was 18. So maybe I just didn't know.
The Disneyland in California only had an exclusive club that you had to have reservations or a restaurant. I think it's called Club 33. Except for now, Star Wars Land has a bar, the Cantina.
Right. So we wanted to get that was like one of the things we wanted to do. Apparently you had to do that months in advance, like a reservation months in advance, which we did not because we didn't know. We show up like, can we get in? Like, do a reservation? We're like, reservation. But like next to that, there was like, hey, get your blue milk. You want to add a shot of rum in your blue milk? We're like, yeah, I do want to add a shot of rum in my blue milk. So I had a lot. It wasn't milk. It was not even dairy. It was like blue milk. It was like some kind of like fruity slushy, basically. They also
Is
had
that
green milk, which was, I don't know what the hell that was, but you could put tequila in your green milk if you wanted to, which we did. Also got some nice holiday drinks. Anyway, Star Wars Land was cool. The whole Disneyland experience was fine, right? Like I'm probably good for the next like 5 years or so. Although, side note, I'll be going to Universal Studios for Chelsea's birthday in like 3 weeks. More lines. Anyway, that was Thursday. Drove there, did all that shit. Rise of the Resistance, which is an awesome ride. Probably like one of the best rides I've been on. Because it's like very modern. Also was like the longest line. The ride got it was it like failed or something, got broken during when we were in line. So that added like another hour to our line, which was already like a long ass time. Yeah. But it was worth it once we get in there. It was actually really cool. It was like a ride in 2 parts. You like once you eventually you're in the ride, right? You're in the ride. So you get into a transport that has an X-wing accompaniment, Poe Dameron and 2 other X-wings, and you're in a resistance shuttle, and you're like going to a resistance planet to like start your orientation to be a rebel. But then that gets intercepted by the First Order and General Hux. And so literally like the X-wing escort gets destroyed, minus Poe, of course. So like you get into the shuttle and then they're watching this display and then it's kind of moving and then the ship gets captured. Then the other side of the ship opens up and it's like, boom, first order reps. And there's like these Disney workers, but they're all dressed in first order attire. And they're like, get out. You're now under the whatever observance of the first order. We're going to like break you into groups and then interrogate you. And then everyone's like, they're like, let's go. And then like you're walking past the like Disney workers and they're like, keep it moving. And they're being all like dicks. And I would turn to my mom. I was like, this is such a great job. This is exactly what I want to do if I were to Disney. Just be a fucking dick first order worker. And then there's like a rescue and escape in that ship. And it's like really cool. But we had to wait like 2.5 hours at least. All right. See you later. Anyway, that was Thursday. Friday was the 23rd. Basically, from then on out, we played a variety of disc golf rounds, card games. Skull, brought Skull over there. We played a lot of Skull. My mom and grandma loved it. Played Uno, Flip, played Harry Potter Uno. So many cookies. I think I weigh the most I've ever weighed in my life right now after this trip. Flew back from Orlando to San Diego, sat on the plane for an hour and a half yesterday because there was a electrical malfunction in the flight attendant's PA system. So because of that, we had to literally, like, we were delayed over an hour. We got in over an hour late and then back to work today, but it was a super quiet work day. I had 200 emails in my inbox, but a lot of it is automated from like internal stuff, so I didn't have to actually address them. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's the weekend. Successful holiday travels there and back, and looking forward to. Oh, I guess we could talk a little bit about the football aspect of the weekend. Maybe we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to that in our Golden Nuggets. Tournament segment. You've taken a shot. Was that an interest shot? So now you have your actual shot.
Now I have the actual shot. We paid through all the interest, and now here is the debt owed.
Excellent. While you're doing that, I'll just talk about some other bets I won. I won a lot of bets in the last week. Stu came at me hard. Talk about smug. That guy was fucking smug in the group me. Not only did he think he was going to beat me this past week, but the next 2 weeks, and that I wouldn't win the championship. And then fast forward like 24 hours, and he was taking a conceding shot. Yeah. My team did not perform very well either. But his team, the betas dressed as alphas, dressed as betas dressed as alphas, took off all of their things and revealed the betas that they are.
Yeah.
So thank you, Steve, for paying up expeditiously. Evan and I also made a really fun bet, which was shotgun on before a disc golf drive, which I won on Sunday before Monday night, and 2 of my players who did nothing. So I look forward to that, Evan, in the future, seeing that. And that's that.
How fun. A lot of good bets this season. 2 outstanding bets that I have. I owe Bacon still smoking a joint while sending him praise. Also, Adam and I have an ongoing Brian Robinson versus Antonio Gibson bet. Whoever scores the most.
How's that going? Are you up right now? Is there any injury stipulations? Because Gibson hasn't played in a while. Or, excuse me, he hasn't performed well in a while.
Yeah, because he sucks. And Brian Robinson is the truth.
Yes, Adam might be forced to start Mr. Gibson this week with some news that came to light today. But we'll get to that later.
Right, the Derrick Henry news.
Next, listener question/research. I put out another very cryptic emoji plea for questions today. None came. I was messaging back and forth with Adam for a while, and he sent me a bunch of quotes that I wanted to share, but he said he did not give his consent for me to share these quotes. They were related to Derrick Henry's injury, so I will not share them. I will honor his request, or I guess lack of consent. Revisiting the SACKO spreadsheet. Actually, before we get into that, do you have any musings about the SACKO? Should we get there when we get golden nuggets? I feel like I'm just gonna be talking for like 20 minutes straight from all this research. I want to
Yeah, we should definitely talk about the SACKO segment. The
SACKO
ultimate,
segment.
yeah, SACKO segment, the ultimate buckaroo. When we recorded this podcast last week, I was very interested. And this is like me coming, if this was my team, if I was in Pebble's shoes, I would have rolled with Fat Lenny, Fournette instead of old Zonovan Knight. I'd thought it then, even though Zonovan had been doing well. I was just like, I made all these trades this season. I'm just going to ride with them because there was a reason that I made them. And it's very like, classic third party perspective, and hindsight is 2020, but had that move that, like, I don't know why I have that odd sense of maybe this is why I'm always in the consolation bracket, the odd sense of like loyalty, or like ride with your guys. I know it's been a very frustrating season with that trade in mind, but yeah, Sutton made the starting lineup. I thought Lenny should have as well. The Arizona defense is hapless, so I think that that's funny and awful all at the same time, because it's something that was like heavily on my mind, and I didn't want to say anything on the podcast to like affect anything.
Sure,
right?
yeah. You can't lead the witness.
Yeah, and then
What
just
jumped
like,
out to me mostly, sorry to interrupt you, is the defensive play. And of course, it's easy to call out -4 points. Baker Mayfield Rams, they're not world beaters by any means. Dallas Cowboys defense has been excellent all year, and that 11-point difference in those two would have more than been enough to avoid the trophy.
Yeah, that hurts so hard, right? This is where you like scheme your way into the L. Like all of the fantasy experts. Well, actually, this is good. I'm gonna look it up real quick. While I'm doing so too, I just want to comment on the Chuba Hubbard start against Pebbles and how he got eviscerated. He got eviscerated for having to start Chuba Hubbard back in the day.
For weeks and weeks and weeks, yeah.
Yeah, and then, unfortunately, didn't work out for him. Oh man, where's the week 16? And then only to have Chuba like do well against him. That's like such a SACKO season type thing to happen to you. Man, the amount of bad luck that Pebbles has suffered this year is really, really remarkable. And
yeah, Bacon, did you put a picture of Pebbles with horns on it on the back of the draft board?
that would be
While you're looking up what you're
funny.
looking up, to kind of put a bow on the research we were doing last week, Pebbles has won the SACKO, which means that 5 times in the last 10 seasons, the 12 seed going into the SACKO bracket has won the trophy or lost in the last game. So basically, if you're the 12 seed, you had a 50% chance of winning the SACKO.
Wow.
Yeah. Surprisingly, that was only the second time in 10 seasons that the 11 and 12 seed have met in the SACKO game.
Wow. That is very surprising. Found the rankings. So do you want to guess where the Denver Broncos were ranked last week by fantasy football experts?
Oh man. I don't want to have to dig into all the matchups because I don't remember them all. I want to say like 5.
They were the number 3 ranked defense for the week.
3. Wow. Where are the Rams?
The Rams on this list. I'll have to scroll pretty far.
I asked because this is the same game, and like I was at Star Wars Land, like thinking about tinkering out the Jets defense. Picked up the Rams, didn't do the tinker. The Jets did like terribly, and the Rams ended up being like 20 points or something.
Yeah, the Rams were ranked number 20.
20. Wow.
Now guess if the Cowboys defense is closer to the Rams or closer to the Broncos.
You say they were number 3?
Broncos are number 3.
I'm sure the Cowboys were closer to the Rams because the Eagles are just really good.
Yeah, they were the 14th ranked team for the week. So this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's easy to like points to that as a failure, but you know, like experts are claiming
Sure. Yeah.
this is the way it should be. So that's pretty frustrating. I would have been pretty upset had I done that. But yeah. Anyways, bummer. That's a real bummer, dude.
It's a bummer, man.
Yeah,
That's a bummer, man.
Another
please.
fucking thing. Pebbles traded me T. Higgins for Jamar Chase with the hopes that Chase would be healthy specifically for the SACKO game. And then T. Higgins blows up and Jamar Chase has a pedestrian day. And had that trade not happened, it would have saved his SACKO ship. So that's just fucking crazy though, right? Like Jamar Chase is objectively better than T. Higgins. That's just
T.
so
Higgins is pretty
frustrating.
damn good.
Certainly, but like the fact that one of them was a first round draft pick and one of them was a third round draft pick, right? Like
Sure.
there is some level of difference there, right? Maybe next year it's going to be first and second round, but that's a huge bummer. And maybe that happened because the Patriots are so good at scheming away the top option of an offense. But it's such a bummer. I feel so bad because I feel like I had an indirect participation in.
You didn't
this
put a gun
run.
to his head to accept those trades. He is the one that traded you Eckler.
One of those things where, like, on paper, I felt like both parties were winning. But yeah, we're getting aside from the SACKO ship.
Next segment.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not just about 2 or 4 people, the champion contenders and the SACKO contenders. We have a league of 12 people. And so I wanted to do a little deep dive on all of our teams. Just curiosity I thought of in the past week is each manager's best single game player performance. So of each person who the entire season performed the best for them. So this is in alphabetical order. Starting with Adam. King Henry was his first round pick. King Henry had his most points in week 8 at a tune of 35.3. He is a first round pick. And I say that because 5 out of the 12 players that we mentioned were first round picks, which means you can get people later in the draft that are going to produce, right? Maybe that's not rocket science, but 35.3 for King Henry. Bacon, Taysom Hill was his high score of the year, 35.08 in week 5. Bill, Tyreek Hill, week 2, 38.5. Brad had the season high score, Joe Mixon, 5 touchdowns, week 9, 53.1 points. Also a first round pick. My high scorer was Josh Jacobs in week 12. He had 46.3, capped by that overtime, like 75-yard touchdown run against the Seahawks. Adam had a front row seat to that one. Let's see. Evan McCaffrey, week 8, 36.26 was a first round pick. Max Kamara, also a first round pick, also in week 8, 38.3. O'Malley, Diggs, of course, week 7, 39.2. Pebbles, Eckler, throwing salt in the wound there a little bit, was his season high scorer, week 5, a single game high score, 33.9. Scott, Joe Burrow, week 7, 41.24. Stu, Justin Fields, which might be the waiver wire pickup of the year, week 9, 43.72 points. And then yourself, Fournette, whom you also traded, week 5, 30.9. Brad's was the high. Fournette and Weaver was the low of the high. So 30.9 was your highest single game performance. And that was the lowest of the 12.
Yeah.
Digging more into that, one person scored 50, which was Mixon, 53.1. Burrow and Fields scored 41.43. And actually, Fields also scored 41 the week after that, too. It's pretty funny because doing this, I had to like look through everyone's week for every week, right? Like every single week, every team. A lot of just misses, right? So like people had a lot of high scores like sprinkled in. A lot of bad sits, right? Like it's funny to look at all these people and like, oh damn, this person like Pebbles sat Khalil Herbert the week he went off for like 30 or something. I sat Josh Jacobs when he went off for 30 and I lost to Brad. A lot of like okay. I was interested in defenses. Cleveland defense, when you picked them up, had the all-time high for defenses 30, which is just ridiculous. A lot of like over 20-point scores for some guys, specifically the Eagles. I think the Eagles and the Cowboys had the most over 20, like multiple weeks over 20 points.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't drop the Cowboys. I would have been in the playoffs.
Potentially. Next segment, trophy counter. We've been talking about trophies. Whose shelves are the fullest? So I did another deep dive about that. O'Malley leads the world with 4 trophies, 1 championship and 3 SACKOs. After that, we have Adam, who has 1 championship and 2 SACKOs. After that, we have Bill, who's 2 championships, 1 SACKO, 3 total. Pebbles has 1 championship, 2 SACKOs. Bacon has 1 of each. Stu has 2 championships, no SACKOs. Max has a championship and no SACKOs. And Weaver has a SACKO and no championships. Which leaves 4 members of the league trophyless. Asterisk, this is not counting 4th place fedoras, which I did not count.
Those are not trophies. Hat is not.
They're fedoras, yeah. Brad, Colin, Evan, and Scott have not won or lost at all.
Huh. That's a fun fact. Now, question for you. Would you rather be where you are, winless, or would you rather be where I am with 1 trophy to my name and it being the SACKO?
I would rather not have won the SACKO.
Okay.
Which I feel like is probably a popular opinion.
Hey, fuck you.
Next segments.
If the trend of winning the SACKO meant you won the championship the next season, then I think your mind would be changed.
Trend is actually a strong word for that.
Yeah, it's true.
Because in the last 9 seasons, 10 actually now if you count the SACKO ship, only twice did the person who won the SACKO go on to win the championship the next weekend. And that, of course, is an asterisk right now because there's potential for that to happen this season. That happened for Pebbles, 2014 SACKO, 2015 champion, and then Bill, 2015 SACKO, 2016 champion. Now, you might think it's more of a trend than it's not because Stu made a SACKO appearance in 2018, but was able to defeat Bacon and not win that SACKO. And then he won the championship the next year, so didn't actually win the SACKO. And then the year after that, where are we at? O'Malley won the SACKO in 2019, made the finals the next year. Where are we? But then lost to Stu. So there are some SACKO to finals, but there have not been a ton of SACKO winners to champions,
Gotcha.
which I also dove into today.
Yeah. Wow. This is just
Waiver wire.
waiver wire. Go for it. I
Well, there were only
just-
three. What you just what?
just got distracted by going back to 2011 and like saying,
You're just like just that like meme where there's like bombs going off in the background. And you just have like that like 20,000 foot stare.
yeah.
There were
What?
three main bids for this weekend. Hodgins, the LACD, and Dortch. O'Malley won Isaiah Hodgins, who's a wide receiver on the Giants, who I actually coveted, but dispersed my money in an incorrect way. So O'Malley got it 25. I had wagered 15. Adam had wagered 0. The LACD, who I also coveted, I wagered 10. Just kind of pulling it out of my ass, not thinking that Adam would blow the rest of his money on a third defense, but it's a good block. Got to hand it to him. I actually sent him the respect gif for that little kid in the Yankee Stadium. It was like taking off his hat. It's like respect.
Yeah, nice.
But now Adam's got 3 defenses and no first round running back. So some moves might have to be made there. And Greg Dortch, it was won by Evan at $24. O'Malley also bid on that one. So I think it's kind of interesting that maybe it's not so interesting, but not only are the title contenders very active, but also the third place contenders are also very active. So we can see if any of these moves, O'Malley actually got out one of these receivers. Evan got the other hotly contested receiver. Which of them comes to fruition?
Yeah, it's always fun. Who made the right bet? Oh, gosh, that was a pretty cheap dig. He has the Chargers defense, but not a first round running back.
I said he has 3 defenses.
Yeah.
3 defenses. Which, and like, my team has a hole. Multiple holes. Defense being like one of the most glaring. I put a wager in for the Jags defense like 2 weekends ago. Or maybe literally a week ago, and Adam won it and then didn't start them and they scored like 17 points, and I was like flabbergasted. And I have lost that one because we have both bet the same amount of money and he has a higher priority, right? And then now fast forward like a week and another defense he's blocking me from. It's like those are like there's so many. Okay. My mind is kind of like short circuited for a second. What I was gonna say is this is all with the subtext of I have never won. I feel like there are moves that you make that lead you to win, right? There are waiver wire moves that get you to a title. Some of those moves are like Justin Fields, picking him up off of waiver wires, and he scores like 40 points multiple weeks in a row, right? Like I bet you, not in our league, but I bet you there are leagues where there's people in the title game that got Justin Fields. It's a great move. But there's also blockers. You block somebody else from picking somebody up. And then because your opponent doesn't have that person, now they can't utilize that person or defense. And then they don't have those points, right? So it's like, it's not only making moves to start a player, but it's making moves so someone else can't start that player.
Yeah.
So I feel like Adam's moves defensively over the past week plus have been like really good.
Yeah, he's a seasoned veteran. He has tasted success before. He's tasted failure. You could argue that he is hungrier than anybody, and he knows what it takes to seal the deal. And
He's been there before.
he's riding that groom high.
He really is. He really is. It's a thing. Who's next? Who's hungrier? Weaver, you haven't won the money in like 3 years, maybe you gotta.
I know. Hey, honey, we gotta get hitched.
Yeah.
Starting the weekend before Labor Day.
Yeah, exactly right. Kind of gotta go 500 until then, and then.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's fun. You want to get some golden nuggets and fool's choice here?
Yeah, we gotta move this along. Producers are pinging
Move
us.
along, move along. Move along. Side note, when I asked those first order troopers for a photo, they were also rude to me. I was like, God, these guys have the best job.
That's what a dream. Just you're just paid to be like PG dicks to people.
Dude, I saw them steal some little girl's baby Groot doll and pretend to throw it in a trash can.
That's borderline PG-13.
It was PG-13. Also in that picture, so like it's me between them two, and Chelsea's like, "You look so awkward." And I was like, I didn't think I could like put my arms around them.
You just look like our happy Colin.
And it's like, I have my blue milk in that photo with rum, blue milk with rum.
Dude, all right, so just quick pivot, quick tangent.
Yeah.
I wish that there was like a role in Hollywood where there was like a logic, a person who is just like Stu, I think would be phenomenal at this role, where they just like look at the director and say, like, what the fuck are you thinking? Right? Like, there's the scene, Luke Skywalker on that remote island, and we just watch him drink milk and have it like spilling down his face. Why is that there? That makes no sense. It adds nothing to it, has zero value. It's not creative, it's not fun, it's just cringe-worthy, right? Like, sorry, that was the tangent.
What matchup would you like to start with?
Obviously, we're gonna start with Dak and the Stackle again versus Eating Good in the Neighborhood.
That's a fun one.
Because it was the matchup of the week by far.
Yep. Heavy hitters.
I think the ultimate Buckaroo Bowl.
Yeah, that probably was a match of the week. But anyway,
this was the shootout of the week. And question for you, sir: how mortal do you feel knowing that you would have lost to either of these competitors?
Honestly, I'm not that shook. I think every week is a coin flip. That literally is how I'm like looking at it. What I actually was more interested in was if I would have lost to Max, because I was more, so I played Evan this past week, right? Evan played Max the week prior. And I was a little more fearful of Max's team than Evan's team.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, that had more of my attention, not this matchup.
How fun. And it was close. Max scored 111, arguably without trying. Like he probably would have tried to block
Arguably.
something. But yeah, it's very interesting to me that Adam, the 6th seed, is on the opposite side of the bracket as you. Any like normal tournament format, right? Like
yeah, 3, 6, 4, 5.
Yeah. So you got lucky, son. The biggest takeaway.
Actually, that is correctly distributed, because you'd have the 1 seed on top, and then the 4 would be the semis, 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. And on the other side of the bracket, you have the 2 and the 3 and the 6, because semis, if it goes by seed, is 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3.
Yeah.
Unless there's a reseeding, right? If there's a reseeding, then yeah, you would have the highest versus the lowest. But
I see it now.
That's not how this is.
I see it now. You guys play the 4. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyways, the thing that sticks out the most to me is the Battle of the Stackle. And Diggs got snubbed this whole game, and that was the big difference. That was it right there. The one true Stackle let him down when his moment of need was the highest. I don't think you can feel bad about putting up 130 and losing. It sucks, but that is fantasy in a nutshell. Clearly made a lot of right moves to get where you are, and that's just it's a bummer, man.
Question. Adam was up 134.38 or whatever. Yeah, 134 point something to 130 going into the Monday night game with Mike Williams to play. Would you have sat Williams and assured your victory, or would you had let it play out like Adam did?
I would have let it play out simply because I think 4 points is still too close. I don't know the rules of stat corrections, but like in some crazy world where I get evaned,
But it's possible. And also, it was over 4 points, so it would have to been like 2 fumbles plus like a negative yard rush or something, right?
Yeah.
But it's possible where if he just sat Williams, nothing can change.
It's done. Yeah.
And then unless there's a stat correction somewhere else, which maybe that's what he's thinking, and I wasn't thinking about, right? Like maybe, yeah, the Ravens were credited like a sack or a fumble when they shouldn't have. Like, so I could see that as like a worry, which I honestly did not think about until this exact moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reality, in my opinion, where Mike Williams scores negative
5 points.
But I mean, that is reminiscent of the O'Malley SACKO ship win of the Jameson
Crowder
reception fumble for the loss. But yeah, this isn't fantasy basketball. I would have played him. Yeah, things that I love about this: Evan Ingram, riding him. Talk about like playoff pickup winner.
For sure. Yeah.
He has been arguably the most impressive pickup of them all. I think that the main storyline here is the stackle, and you need your guns to perform in the playoffs, and Stephon Diggs let O'Malley down. I mean, if you just look at his scores, like he scores over 14 more than half of the weeks. Over to you, Gall.
Yeah, just one other curiosity in this one is that Jeff Wilson Jr. on O'Malley's bench, the second Miami running back. Oh, what? There's a pup in the house?
We have a guest appearance on the People's Podcast. Everybody meet Barnesy.
It's the Pups Podcast. What's up, Barnesy?
It's the Pups Podcast.
Barnesy's like, what are you doing? Oh, yeah, that's a mouth kiss. Okay.
Oh, that's a kiss. Here you go, buddy. We are dog sitting for the next couple days.
Jeff Wilson Jr. scored the touchdown. Mostert didn't end up mattering for Adam. Didn't end up to matter for Adam, but could have helped O'Malley. In any case, next matchup. Should we do every single one of these matchups? Yeah. No, there's some that do that. Like, what about you're gonna play for? Like there's some. No, we don't care. All right. Well, then fine. We'll just do we hate all of you who are not playing in a game that matters.
We can do mine and Stu's because fuck Stu. Am I right?
He was very confident he would outscore me. So yeah, why don't we go there?
Yeah.
And then we'll go to the SACKO, and then we'll
plug in my headphones in real quick.
This is some good podcasting, people. We have a whole finals preview after this too. And picks. Buckle up, Buckaroos. All right. Well, I'm taking this one. El Stuarto. Honestly, your bench is full of crap too. So it's not like you made a terrible choice. Fields scoring less than 10 points is definitely not great, especially after he'd scored no fewer than 20 points in all the games he had started going back to October 13th. Zay Jones, oh man, talk about I put chef's kiss immediately after Stu was so ornery about making our bet. He gets one reception for 14 yards. it was done. It was done after that.
Yeah.
Honestly, both my matchups, like I had Jets defense who scored 4 points, both my matchups. My matchup against Evan, he had Christian Kirk who scored like 4.1. I was like, if my defense can score, he's like wide receiver 1, I'm golden. Then with Stu, I was like, if my defense can score over him, he's been like leaning on those past few weeks. It's over. Not much you could have done differently. The sits that you did did not perform. Most notably, Ramadre and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Can't expect Aaron Jones to get 4.4 points. Dylan had a touchdown in that one. Took it. Great game from the Dallas kicker. Funny to me to see that the Tennessee defense scored 4 points against Houston as the Jets scored 4 points against the Jaguars. I had made all of this like shuffling to try and find the perfect defense, and it would have been to the same.
Tough.
Golden nugget for you, Stu, is that you won't be winning the SACKO this year, and you were my pick.
Yeah, I really wanted Stu to win the SACKO too, but I'm very happy to knock him out of the consolation championship because
Hey, at least I'll win a bracket.
at least I will. Man, Weaver's team is garbage, and shut up, Stu.
I do appreciate the, like I said, expeditious shot on our bet. Even though it wasn't even done at that point. Like I had, I don't know, 5 players to go, but Stu had, I think, the hand when he took that shot.
He knew in his heart that
Dude, it's not over till it's over. Nothing is over till it's over. Look at, didn't like last week, like Brad and Bill had like a 1% chance of winning, and he did. Like that shit happens all the time.
Yeah, it's true. One major call out that I want to acknowledge on the podcast is this is the second time that I've picked up Marquise Goodwin in a spot start, like in a juicy spot start matchup, and then he goose egged me. And I was actually very scared that he was gonna not play this game because after I picked him up, once again, he got that questionable tag, didn't practice
You're like,
again.
motherfucker.
I was just like, holy crap. And I should have just benched him for that outright, right? Like if I had, I would have started Jahan Dotson or Richie James, and that would have been an extra 13, 16 points. So yeah,
Unneeded.
note to self, never start Marquise Goodwin ever again. I was just really wanting to have a stack again. I really miss it.
Well, as I've been saying all along, the stack is a mirage.
It is a mirage.
It's a mirage. All right, let's do a golden nugget and fool's choice for the SACKO, and then let's get to my lengthy finals preview.
Yes. Yeah, we gotta pick this up. The honey is home. We're supposed
The
to
honey is home. I've already said my fool's choice for Pebbles is starting Denver over Dallas.
Kudos to him
points.
for not starting Pierre Strong Jr.
Well, if he would, you got some more points if you started him over Mr. Knight.
Yeah. Hey, also shout out to Pebbles for the AJ Dillon pickup because he has been great ever since Pebbles picked him up.
Double digits the entire time. Yeah. Golden nugget for
You get
Pebbles.
to take a shot every single Sunday morning.
That's true. Yeah. Golden nugget is that the trophy gets to travel over state lines, huh? It's nice to, have this thing making some trips.
Yeah. Golden nugget is you get to incorporate Anya in your Frisbee touchdown life now because
Don't show my dead plants. It's embarrassing. I love that so much.
Yes. The wags of Frisbee touchdown carry a large responsibility when it comes to filming great content for us.
They really do. They really do. All right, let's get to this finals preview, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about I'm gonna go through what I've researched, then we can get your take on it, and then we'll pick some winners after that for all the matchups, or at least first and third. Anyway, finals preview. We have your boy Gall, first place in the regular season with an 11-3 record, also most points scored in BD, also most weeks winning the money at BD. Defeated Evan 113.16 to 77.86 in the semis after a first round bye. This will be my first finals appearance. Also, pretty sure first finals appearance for a People's Pod podcaster since we've been doing the People's Pod.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, totally cool. Super cool. Love
Is
it.
it not cool? This is not me trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying, like, isn't that how many years have we been doing this? And neither one of us have been actually competing for the trophy. Now we are.
Cheers,
The
baby.
championship trophy.
I guess in that regard, I'm supposed to cheer for you. Fuck.
I already know how the chips will fall this week, much as they did last year, in terms of who's rooting for who. It'll be the same as it was last year. Adam, the other co-championship contender, 6th place regular season finish at 7-7, would like to note that he advanced by 4.7 points over Bacon. 4.7 points. And actually, I didn't even do a dive into like teams perform. Like if Bacon would have made it to where he did. Bacon made a post today about how he had scored everyone in the consolation bracket, so maybe he would have. We can fucking look at that right now. Let's see.
Bacon's outscored everybody in the league in the playoff time frame.
So he would be in the finals.
Yeah.
Wow, poor Bacon. 4.7 points.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantasy for you. You're not in the finals, Bacon. You cursed Adam, and here you are now. Speaking of which, Adam defeated Scott 121.84 to 99.5 in quarters, then defeated Snow Malley 144.38 to 130.08 in the semis. He's been doing the work.
His journey sounds very similar to my journey back in maybe 2016, I want to say.
You were in the finals in 2015.
15. Yeah.
This is Adam's second finals appearance. His last one was in 2013, the first year of the modern era. We've already talked about the SACKO to champion. It's only happened twice, last of which was Bill in 2016. This is, though, the first time we have made history again. We're all about making history in this league. We're movers and shakers. We like to we're at the forefront of fantasy sports. Weaver's putting up his fucking ponytail, and I'm talking to the Golden Gate Bridge as this is happening. In our 10th year, it's the first time that the members, league mates that were in the SACKO game the last year are now meeting in the finals. We just got no reaction.
No, that's
Yeah.
pretty epic. That's super fun. A great redemption story arc for the both of you.
I would love for one of our quote unquote math guys to figure out the chances of that happening.
It's impossible to calculate. That's one of those
Over 10 years,
garbage win probability.
what are the chances that the SACKO competitors would meet in the finals the next year? What is that? That's 2 out of 12 over 10 years or
Don't even
something.
try to do podcast math. We know better. We're seasoned podcasters at this point.
I do really like when someone's like, can one of our math guys do this? I'm like, I'm on it. Anyway, so
Google Sheets recommending some functions.
no, I don't even look. I just say I'm on it, and then that's it. But I think that is cool that Adam and I were in the SACKO, and now we're in the finals. And with that, let's get to our picks.
Started from the bottom. Now you're both up.
So, how many of these do you want to do? Should we do all 4? We can't do 3 or 4.
You can do all 4.
All right. Well, let's start with the one that means the least, which is our 9th place game.
Yeah, it's Angels in the outfields versus It Hurts When 4 Men Are Inside Me.
Yes.
I'm predicting back-to-back beta performances out of Stu, despite the fact that Bill's team is looking like hot garbage. Folks, the downfall of my league pick'em the past 3 weeks has been that I'm picking with what I want to happen, not what I truly think is going to happen. Actually, this is a super fun little.
This sounds like historically familiar. Like I feel like this is a you every single year.
Every year.
I think it's going to happen. You want or need to happen.
Look, that's the Weaver sunset in the league pick'em right there. It's happening. I just want Bill to beat Stu after Stu talked big shit for the 2 weeks, right? Like he put a lot of karma out there. Fun fact, back when Stu and Pebbles were competing in the consolation bracket, round 1, I flipped a coin and I said it was Pebbles wins. The coin actually said Stewart, but I wanted Stu to win the SACKO, so I wasn't just gonna be like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Stu's gonna win.
So you're full of shit.
Yeah, so the coin was a lie. I chose Pebbles, and maybe that's the announcer's curse. Like once again, Pebbles, your SACKO ship is heavily tied to me, and I apologize. I did it to you, but in this regard, I'm picking Bill. Who are you picking?
I'm taking Stu. I'm taking Stu for a variety of reasons. Reason number 1, Bears are playing the Detroit Lions. I think that game's going to be a high-scoring affair, and Stu is heavily invested in that game. Reason number 2, Packers are playing the Vikings. That game also has some relevance as the Packers are somehow still alive, and the Vikings are looking to be as high a seed as possible. And there's obviously that divisional rivalry, right? So I think this could be a big game for both Cook and Aaron Jones. On the other side of the coin, we got Foreman versus the Buckaroos defense, which can be formidable.
Yeah.
We got Zach Moss against the Giants defense, which is good, and the culture like really bad. We got Tyreek Hill with one playing against the Patriots, so like Belichick is going to be taking away their number 1 option, which is Hill, and 2, we got Bridgewater throwing to them now. R.I.P. Waddle. Which, side note, goddamn Florida, I thought that was the most backward state there was, and I was like, I'm going to make some bets on DraftKings and make some money. No, the one thing Florida cares about apparently is sports gambling.
They already have so many addictions over there. They can't possibly afford to introduce gambling addictions as well.
I cannot tell you how many fucking billboards and like semi-truck sides I saw that was like, thank you, Ron DeSantis, for keeping Florida free.
Huh.
Come on, Ron. Sports gambling is where you draw the line.
Yeah.
What it really is, he's in the pocket of the casinos. That's what it is. You got to go to the casino to do your gambling. In any case, that's a aside. Because of all of that, I'm taking Stu. Oh, and actually, I do want to give a very sincere shout out to Stu with Jerick McKinnon. I picked up McKinnon on a whim and then dropped him after he was like, I don't know, very ho-hum. I think it might have been the week before he started his double-digit relevance. And then since then, basically of the month of December, McKinnon has been on fire. And so I've watched this and I've been like, God damn it. But also, Stu, great pickup.
Yeah. Stu weathered a 8.8 performance, 0.9, and 4.1 from McKinnon before this breakout, a 4-week breakout after that. So he weathered the storm with McKinnon.
I kind of feel like I had him before then. Did you go all the way back to when Stu first had him?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm doing some podcast math. Let's see.
Oh, you don't believe me, motherfucker?
Now I'm just curious when I had McKinnon.
You had him from October 12th to October 19th, one measly week.
Oh, I also had Chase Edmonds. That's right. All these baloney guys.
You dropped him after a 4.5 point performance, and then 3 weeks went by.
Oh, and then Stu picked him up.
Single point performances in those and a bye.
Man, I had some.
You picked him up, kept him.
There he is.
Yeah.
You're right. When you're right, you're right. And you're right. Oh, you actually can see. Oh, you know what? They're cheating, aren't you? You can actually see a player's.
History.
You can see a player's history by looking at player history. Damn it!
How do you not know that as a podcaster? You're garbage.
This is my first year. I don't know.
All
All
right,
right, so
moving
you're
on.
taking Bill. I'm taking Stu. Next matchup of
To the
the
second least enticing matchup, we're going to the consolation championship. Myself versus Tyler Bacon. And I'm down to put another shot bet on the line for this one
with
because
me or with Bacon, or both of us.
with you, obviously.
All right, so I don't even have to look at it. I'll just take Bacon. You're taking yourself.
Yep.
Okay, I got my boy Bacon. I got my growly growl Bacon.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Christian Watson is out for this matchup, and then that will be the difference in our matchup.
Picker hardly newer. Okay, your bushes are semi-similar. Watson's still in there right now.
The resurgence of Cam Akers really
Dude,
hurt.
crazy.
A story arc to like be like asked to step away or like having stepped away from the team for like whatever things came up to then come back and like be super fantasy relevant.
So, question: do you think Taysom Hill stays in there against the Philadelphia defense, or has Bacon just not looked at his lineup yet? Because he could put in Schultz there, and I also think that Tyler could make an appearance as he was a full participant in the team's walkthrough today.
Yeah, it's easy to walk when you have a broken finger.
You know who didn't walk through practice today? Goddamn Lamar Jackson.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's also easy to walk.
All right, let's actually give some. Well, yeah, I mean, you're well set with those Clippers, although they just clinched. But seeding is a thing. Oh, Dotson, there's somebody else who I picked up and then threw to the curb. Player history, look at that. Let's see. Oh, you got him dropped by Smuggy on the 16th a month before. Yeah. Did you look at that? Would you look at that? Did you have him before that? Oh, well, you gotta click on the player history again. Hold on. Oh no, Dearth of Talent had him dropped.
I'm just thinking out loud right now. Let's
That's
get
what the
out of
people
here.
want to hear. All right. Okay. So shot bet on that one. I got to
Shot bet.
make a note here. I got to collect in all my Betty bets. Ooh, I got to figure out how to bet with Adam too. Although I feel like he's going to be, I got to wait a little bit. He's going to be sad after the Derrick Henry news. So I got to
I don't blame him.
pick my timing. All right. Next one. We got the third place game. Wow. O'Malley's got an astronomical bush.
Yeah. This is very reminiscent of Max in 2015. He had the second best team that year by far. I think that his stack goal is going to show up in a big way against Cincinnati. Oh, man. Yeah. The big question mark here is whether or not Tony Pollard plays. Jerry Jones said he's game ready, but yeah. What a combo of players, Travis Etienne and Tony Pollard really being the like core of his team, despite some really bunk performances out of Etienne.
You're taking O'Malley?
Yeah, I am.
I'm taking O'Malley.
Cool.
I think to do these teams justice, Dortch is already in Evans' starting lineup. Hodgins, not in O'Malley's. Curious if he will play him or not. Maybe O'Malley's just trying to block and not play, which I can respect. Evans' performance last week was pretty bad, and it's hard to get that performance out of my mind. Although, as I said earlier on this podcast, every week is a coin flip. And Diggs has not scored double digits for the past month. And Cincy is no joke. But I am taking O'Malley. I think O'Malley has the better team, whereas, Christian Kirk not really performing for Evan last week is tough. having to now lean on a waiver wire pickup, kind of tough. And also Colt McCoy is coming back, who was not the quarterback who was throwing to Dortch this past weekend when he put up those numbers.
But Dortch is a weapon.
Mandrews is going to have Huntley thrown to him again. And since Huntley's taken over, actually, Mandrews hasn't scored double digits since October. San Francisco defense could put up 20 points, though, against the Raiders. And it has me worried about Josh Jacobs. But in any case, we're both taking O'Malley.
Yeah.
So now, the finals.
Who you got?
No, who you got? I'm in this one. You got it. You got to lead.
Yeah, I didn't get picked as the best man for nothing.
My God.
I'm going with the one and only Dak in the Stackle again. Womp, womp, womp.
Why would you do something like that?
Because I'm picking with my heart and not my mind.
That's what gets you to the 7th place game, apparently. But go on.
That's what leads you to the lowest average finish in the league, despite having a podcast and many hours spent looking at all this bullshit. Yeah, it's all really going to hinge on Thursday Night Football, which is something that you really, really never want to say or hear or feel. The fact that Adam may not have Derrick Henry is so sad. You always want your big guns that got you there playing. To his credit, Rachaad White has been an incredible-ish player. He's been a serviceable player after clicking on his profile. We're going to focus on Evan Ingram here. He was a first-round tight end draft pick many moons ago, and he's been carrying Adam's team recently. Yeah. I'm choosing Adam to win out of duty, and hopefully I'm not the announcer's curse. That's it. There's not much rhyme or reason to it other than
Hey, it's a coin flip. I'm saying it, okay? I even told Adam today, like after the Henry news came out, I was like, it's coin flip. Not over till it's over. The holes that my team has, his team does not have. He has many defenses to choose from. Actually, after I sent him that like tip of the cap gif this morning, I was like, now we can see if you choose the correct defense to play out of the 3 that you have, and 3 that I would play over my own defenses. So that's fun. And yeah, Ingram's been great. Whereas my tight ends are bullshit. It's been bullshit all year. So and furthermore, I definitely have doubts. The Raiders just fucking sent Derek Carr into the sun. So now their whole offense is probably bunk. And Jacobs has been like one of the guys I've leaned on. Lamar Jackson I haven't had for the past month. Thank goodness Daniel Jones produced last week. I never really need it. But he's kind of like a week by week, like, let's see what happens. Waddle's got Bridgewater thrown to him. Chubb has been terrible since Deshaun Watson has been the quarterback. So same with Pittman, right? Like my roster is full of guys who like were so fucking good the first like half of the season, and then the second half have been like mediocre at best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're clearly feeling very mortal right now.
I do feel mortal, and obviously the Henry news sucks for Adam, and yeah, I can't be smug about that. It sucks you want to have your best guys. Everyone wants to have their best guys, so that fucking sucks. With the Titans being so deficient on offense, and if Henry does not play, then I think that game's game script could go so poorly for Adam. Where like the Cowboys could go up by multiple touchdowns. Like maybe Prescott gets 1 touchdown pass, maybe it goes to Lamb or not. Zeke gets in for 1 or 2, or Pollard plays and gets in for 1. All of a sudden there's a 21-point margin because the Titans don't have Henry, and then the Cowboys just like run out the clock. But of course, I'm taking myself.
Nice. Yeah. You got to bet on yourself.
Gotta bet on myself. And
Cowboys.
today I was like shuffling all these like people into my lineup. Like I had like, oh, let's get like Brock Purdy into my starting lineup and see if like anyone will like bite on that. Or oh, let's get, whoever. But after that Henry news broke, I went and scooped up his bullshit backup just in case anybody else wanted to pick up his bullshit backup, because I was like thinking about it and I'm like, if Adam picks this guy up and then he like scores and there's the difference, I'll be so mad at myself.
Yeah. Good pickup. Good
After
ball.
missing out on Hodgins and LACD, literally I went to bed and I was like, I will play both of these guys if I get them. And I got zero. Neither.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Meanwhile, how much money do you still have left?
Too much.
Too much. You can't take it with you.
I don't know, 23, something like that, 25.
26. Yeah.
I dispersed. I even was like, I had more money for Knox and I was like moving it off to Hodgins. I was like, but not enough. Should have been putting the LACD, but whatever. Lesson for another time. Okay. Lesson for another time.
Yeah.
I applaud all of you who have zero budget, because I'm walking away with almost a quarter of mine, which is
26. No.
baloney.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not good. Less than Scott, who still has 96. We never got the patented. Well, he didn't do it first, but we didn't get the all my budget on one random
Right. Mm-hmm.
Titans backup tight end, or the
Panthers backup tight end. Yeah.
Yeah. Any final
Closing thoughts? Oh wow, look at that. My final thoughts have been that it's been a flash. This season has gone by so fast. I remember being in the pool naked with Brad in Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here on the precipice. I feel thankful that my team did so well during the regular season, because it really has been not good the past like 5 weeks, but it hasn't mattered. And I hope I win.
Good luck to you, sir. And good luck to Adam. And good luck to O'Malley. And good luck to Evan. And good luck to me. And that's it. All right. Good. Yeah, that's it. Talk to
See
you
you
later.
next week.
Bye.
Just a couple of best friends hanging out. La-di-da, dee-dee-da. Welcome to the People's Pod. Welcome to the People's Pod. Just a couple of best friends hanging out. We like to do stuff. Frisbee touchdown and